Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I posted last. First race of the series here. Pretty hard attack as usual. Figure it's a flat course, so I should be able to just draft, but my lack of racing recently would suggest I was wrong, so I had to put a bit of an extra effort here just to keep up to the first major push of a typical Zwift race. 51 of us here. Looking around, I think we all made the initial attack. Watts per kg this year predicted to be a little lower initially, weighing in at 103 kgs. Last year, during my Zwift races, I think I was around 93. So I have some work to do. Maybe got us down as low as 90. Trying to do it in a healthy fashion. Again, don't do as I say. I'm just an amateur athlete. Trying to stay healthy. Zwift racing, to my surprise on my training plan, showed back up this week, and I think will be a staple moving forward on Thursdays. Pretty consistent here, staying with the pack. Nice little addition Zwift did with the drafting bar. Shows you where in the draft zone you are and how good the draft is during this time of the race. Fairly steady here, not too much happening. Couple of bumps, not too many hills. See a slight push at the front here. I'm trying to stay with the front of the pack, as anyone who's raced knows how critical it is. And if you're new to racing, my one suggestion, stay on that front if you want to be there at the end. Even if you have to bury yourself up a hill. I've done mostly zone 2 riding. Haven't done intensity work. Maybe a couple 20-second spin-ups here and there. And a little bit of sprint training the last 3-4 rides. 20-30 second bursts during the sprint segments on Zwift. Been working with my coach again. Awesome guy. Don't know if he wants his name mentioned, so I won't say it just yet. He takes the holistic approach, so he knows before I do when I'm in rough shape, and he will adjust my training as needed or tell me to take a break. Very important, if you work with a coach, you give him the information so he has the ability to work around it. Current situation. Probably say recovering from near burnout. Predictable, but I chose to invest heavily in education this year along with work. Took on a lot. And as I get older, I realize I am not in my 30s anymore. I love racing. Here I'm trying to stay with the pack. Haven't been able to race. My ability to recover has just not been there until recently. Funny how that works. You get so tired you don't want to exercise. Then once you start exercising, the fatigue kind of fades away. The body starts producing the proper hormones and comes into balance, and you start to feel better. Your mind gets sharper and you want to exercise more. So the last few weeks have been a lot more consistent. Not the usual setup. I thought I wasn't being, I thought the volume was off on the mic. Got to do some Christmas cleanup in the basement. Reset the training area. Pushing hard here. My heart rate a lot higher than I'd like to, but it's the first race, so this is more a gauge of where my fitness is at and what I have to do to tweak and change it. Hopefully coach watches this. If not, hopefully you enjoy it. If you're new to Zwifting, it's a great community. I noticed a real big uptick in the amount of Zwifters online right now. I don't know if it grew the platform or if it's the Christmas New Year's rush where a lot of people are doing indoor training rather than riding outside. We got a great group of riders up here in northern British Columbia, the Blizzard Bike Club. We are looking to form a team to compete in the Alberta circuit, the BC circuit, and maybe the Canadian Nationals in our designated categories. Speed skating pretty big up here too. Matthew Mitchell and a few other local Fort St. John athletes doing really well in the time trials. Here I'm falling off the back, so I'm going to need to make a push to stay on because it's so critical to be in that draft zone. Even on the flats, if you lose that draft, they can pull away in a hurry. So I'm going to make an effort here, try and stay on top of it. Ride S. Park's draft. Hopefully we could get back on the back of the pack here. Catch back up fairly easily. Heart rate at 171. Easily is in quotation marks. In the suffer, but you know what? Grateful to be suffering and have the ability to push again. Motivated by a few other content creators. Been watching them consistently. I don't know if embarrassed or trying to find the right time is the word to describe it, but I figure today's as good a time as any. First race back. Hit record. See how the race goes. And it's a good benchmark to look back to. For anyone out there wishing they would be at a different place than they are now or doing really well, it's never too late. Consistency is key. I will be working on that. Hopefully by next week, the regular Thursday races will be around again and maybe a couple pounds lighter. Consistent week of work. We'll see where we're at, but here, trying to hang on. Again, pretty flat and boring in this area. We're going to have a downhill, so in theory it should be easy for a bigger guy to keep rolling in the draft. The first test will be up the, even the 2%, 3% inclines, short ones. That's where people try and make a break for it. This first big hill will be a big key in this race. Be a place I look to attack. You can't see my smile on my face when I say attack. 103 kgs, attacking up a climb. We've had a ton of snow here in the area in December. Feels like I've been shoveling every day. Tell you it's nice to be back on Zwift and riding again. Halfway through the race almost. We're not even at the most difficult part. Downhill, coasting. A little more hair loss this year. That cortisol, no good. Not good for the system. So finding ways to flush that out and control the controllables, as coach would say. Cruising up, getting closer to the hill. There's a little incline here. You could see a few people push. I'm trying to stay with it. Heart rate up around 170. Not sure what my max heart rate is at this moment. I know last year when I'm in shape, I think I was up around 190, 194. This effort here, it's taxing on the body. We'll see how tomorrow comes around. It is tomorrow right now. I actually feel pretty good, which is nice. It's telling me my body has the ability to recover on this flat stretch here just before the climb. What I should be doing is setting up probably in the first third of the pack to make sure I don't miss a break. I'm a little rusty on these races. If you're not near the break when it happens, it's could be too late to react. We're coming in here 1% grade, so we're just about to start the climb. And for those of you who do some racing, here's where you put the effort in. You bury yourself if you have to. Understand how long the climb is. And get to that crest and just over. And stay with that lead group. If you don't, as you'll see, or not, changes happen in a hurry. That gap goes from 1 to 13 seconds in a hurry. So putting in an effort, I'm thinking 3.5, 4 watts per kg might do it. But I haven't done a Zwift race in a while, and the competition has gotten a lot better, especially with the increased amount of riders right now. Bumping up here, 300 to 500 watts. You really got to work on your 1 to 2 minute power in these Zwift races and your ability to recover in between them. The boys hammer. The women too. So I'm popping off the back, gonna put an effort in to try and stay with this front pack, but you could see there's a couple of splits in the group now. Sitting in 22nd, I should really hammer to get to that second chase group here. I jump on the pedals, try and stay with JG. An MP Coalition. One more push. You have to bury it. That gap's now 3 seconds to the second chase group. I'm at 176 BPM. 27th place. C. Martin S. Park. JG. Look at those as we'll come together later in the race. This is where you're looking around, gauging everyone's watts per kg, seeing who you can work with. Once you get popped off the back, you kind of need to form a small group and work together so you don't keep going backwards. Could be disheartening, getting popped off the back. And motivating at the same time, kind of this year. When you don't get what you want, sometimes it makes you reevaluate and refocus. And in doing so, you end up a better athlete or person after that initial disappointment. So we got a group of 4 here, S. Martin, JG, S. Park, and our Artsy is 9 seconds back. Keep your eye on him or her. We're working together here as a group. I'm just trying to recover, so I'm trying to soak up all the draft I can. That gap's already 7, 8 seconds. Keep an eye on that. 13 seconds. Gone. The only way you could come back from a gap like that is if you're able to maintain it and you hammer that last climb. But with my heart rate at 161 at 200 watts, my current fitness level would indicate that's a pipe dream. We're working together here pretty good. S. Park, I think I've raced with him before. MP Coalition. He was joking before the race that he's hoping this was just a zone 2 until a sprint. Now I don't think he was lying. Watch your eyes when I wipe the sweat off my head. It's getting pretty shiny up there. Got to work on the setup. Going to do a few improvements to the live stream setup. I prefer the taller cam as opposed to the wide angle I'm using now. It's funny how easily you forget things that seem to be simple when you haven't done them for a while, like racing or live streaming. So us four working together. You look back behind us, you got Artsy. Was 9-10 seconds behind. He's gonna come up on us, or that rider will come up on us. Blows right by us. So now, as a group of four, what we should try and do is make a push so they don't think that they could break us. So you see C. Martin putting in a little push. We get up this climb. All four of us are gonna hammer it. Kind of take Artsy's soul back a little bit. Keep him in check. So he knows, or she knows, we won't be broken. So a group of four turns into 5. That dig hurt up to 172 BPM. Doctors say I have what is called exercise-induced asthma. I think it just happens when I'm out of shape, so I'm pretty stubborn. I think it was During Rider who said everybody has asthma at 400 watts. So we got C. Martin making a break for it. Trying to catch S. Park, who's gone off the front of our little pack. It's very hard to get some separation when you're on the flats, and they do. So there's 5 of us working here. It's going to be a climb. We're hoping we can pick off a few stragglers who get popped off the back of the second chase pack. Another climb. The first time I do this race, I was watching another YouTuber, checking out how their race went, to try and get a gauge for the efforts that will happen during a race. So I'm going to put in a dig here. And at first I see that little flat landing. I underestimated the length of the climb. So I had to recalibrate, slow it down a little bit. RPM's way too low as far as I'm concerned. I try and spin up these hills, but I'm, like I said, out of practice. And at my current fitness level, this is what I have to do. So making a push, trying to create separation between C. Martin, Artsy, JG. JG looks like they're struggling a little bit. We're catching up on Donkey Kong here, who's been popped off the back of a chase group. That's disheartening. When you're maxed out like that, oh, the pain is real. So trying to stay in touch with the 2 Americans in front here. Another steeper section of this smaller climb. Heart rate creeping up close to 180. More of a linebacker build right now than a cyclist. 6'3". I think 228 or so. Going in the right direction now. Not really embarrassed, but tough saying that I did hit about 240 in September. Life happens. Doesn't mean you can't do anything about it, but the sooner you choose today to start changing your situation, the better it is. Really trying to stay with these 2, C. Martin and Artsy. JG, look at that, 12 seconds, so it doesn't take long. I was almost hoping we can catch up to that second chase pack, as they're, what, 10, 15 seconds up on us here. Wasn't the case so far. Got 0.9, so less than a kilometer to go. Gonna try and set up here. Having trouble staying with these 2. So I have 2 options. Put in a real big effort, keep it going, blow right by them, and hope I beat them on the sprint. or slowly catch up to them and try and catch them by surprise. So my choice here, let them get as far as possible to kill my hopes. Let's see if I can pull off a miracle. But they're not really sprinting yet. 3 watts per kg, that's pretty hard for me right now. So I kick it in. I think here's my chance. So I catch up, I was going to settle in, and then I realized maybe I need a push. So I put the hammers on the pedals and try and get for the sprint here. And it looks like C. Martin might have just got me, but the results show me in front of him by just a bit. Awesome race. First time back in a while. Thanks for watching. And happy training. We'll see you next week. Hit that like and subscribe.